What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Limited Halo Needler. This blaster by Nerf is a fully automatic 10-shot blaster that resembles the Halo Needler. It looks great, it actually shoots, and these lights are amazing. What a cool prop gun. Let's get into the review. Included is the blaster, darts, blaster stand, instructions, and a game add-on. 6 AA type batteries are required and are installed as shown. A lot to go over, mostly cosmetic stuff because it looks flippin' awesome, but I'll start up at the front. There's no in-strike barrel lug, but it has a very cool game-realistic front end. Right behind that is the cylinder or drum, and it holds 10 darts. To load the cylinder, you pull back on this little latch, which opens up like that. That makes it a little easier to manipulate the cylinder to load in your 10 Nerf Elite darts. It came with these pink Nerf Elite darts, but of course it's compatible with all Nerf Elite darts. And if you're new to foam flinging and you're purchasing extra darts, check out Waffle Head darts. I'll link those in the description box below. Nerf Elite darts aren't the most accurate, but these pink ones do resemble the needles from the video game. And opening up this little hinge piece allows you to get your fingers next to the cylinder to rotate the cylinder like this, which lets you access the barrels to load up all 10 shots. Now this front end looks really cool, but it's pretty slow to load and it's a little bit cumbersome. After you're loaded up with 10 darts, you can just push this piece right back in place. Just be careful, only the left one is designed to do that. The right one is not a hinge component. Don't pull on that or you might break it. That is the cylinder. Now moving up to the needles, which are super cool. These are like a translucent pink color and they're made of this rubbery material, so they're pretty bendy. And they have LEDs on the bottom, which light up and it looks awesome in person. It's hard to capture on film really well, but even in a pretty well-lit environment, it looks super cool. And these lights also act as something of an ammo counter. As you start shooting, the lights will turn off from back to front. And once the lights are completely out, that means you've shot 10 times. It's not one needle at a time like in the video game. It is a little bit more vague than that, but it's still super cool. And it's this rubbery material, which is pretty forgiving, but it's totally not safe to use as like a melee toy. They're not foam. And if you buy one of these, be careful about how you store it, because if you set it down flat on a table, you put a little bit of pressure and bend these side needles. I left it on its side for a few hours and the needle sprung right back, but if you put it in your closet for like a few months, you might permanently damage the needle. So I don't think that's too big a deal, and it does come with a stand to mitigate that issue, but it's worth noting for super detail-oriented prop people. Now I'm going to bounce around in the overview a little bit because front to back doesn't really work for this blaster. Getting to the power switch, there are 3 settings: off, display mode, and fire mode. In the middle is off, then you move it to the right and you're in fire mode. When you put it into fire mode, the lights actually don't turn on until you touch the little hand sensor. There's a little sensor on the grip, so once you touch it, the lights turn on, which is really cool. It like recognizes that you're holding it and it turns on for you, which is awesome. And when you're in fire mode, to fire, all you have to do is pull the trigger. There's no rev switch on this blaster, even though it's fully automatic. And after your lights are out, that means you fired off all 10 shots if you're shooting when loaded. Then when you go to reload, you open up this little latch, as I already showed you, to load in your darts. And when you do that and shut your latch, the lights turn back on, so your ammo counter resets. Then you can fire off 10 more darts and it keeps resetting every time you reload. Which brings me to the propulsion of the blaster, which is really interesting. I haven't opened this one up and I don't plan to, but I'm pretty sure this is running on a system just like the old Stampede, which means it's fully automatic, but it's also spring powered. It uses the electric motor to prime back the spring, but the spring itself is pushing the air to shoot the dart. So it works, and it is full auto, and it's super hassle-free. There's no rev switch. You don't have to understand the mechanics. You just pull the trigger and it shoots, which works for prop-oriented people, but the rate of fire is so slow. The rate of fire here is way slower than the real Needler, but out of Hasbro, it's the best we're gonna get. At least they didn't make it a springer like a bunch of the Fortnite blasters. At least it's full auto. So it looks super cool, and the ammo counter is super fancy, but using the blaster is actually really simple. You just front load and then pull the trigger and it works. Down to the trigger, it's a pretty small, short trigger, but it works just fine since it's full auto. But now down to the grip, this grip is not comfortable at all. Now this grip is probably more comfortable than a real Needler grip, but the Needler is not made for humans. It's literally made for aliens. So yeah, Hasbro actually improved the grip based on the original Needler, but it's still a piece of crap. But it's very short, there's not a whole lot of space here, so the bottom of my hand keeps catching into this ridge. I don't know why they had to put this stupid ridge right here. It's very uncomfortable. It seems like the target demo of a blaster like this is an adult audience with disposable income to drop $100 on something like this. I don't think they're going after the younger market with tiny little hands, and it's not very adult friendly. So I'm not sure prop people are gonna hate it as much as I do, but as a Nerfer, this is obnoxious. However, there's a second mode, display mode, so if you push it to the forward position, all the lights will turn on. And this is if you want to set it up on your stand and make it look really cool. Now, if you pull the trigger, it's not going to shoot. This is display only. It's only turning on the LEDs. So that's pretty cool. If you want to shoot it or just display it, there's a mode for you. Last part of the overview, I already showed you the batteries, but they are installed under here. Loading these batteries is a little strange because you want to like set it down to load your batteries, but then you'll crush your needles. So loading these batteries in was a little less convenient than most Nerf guns. A few other things just to point out: in the back, there's this super cool LED back here that looks just like the video game. This isn't an ammo counter. It doesn't change or anything as you shoot though. It also has little pink lights on each side by the handle and all sorts of coolness up in the front here. This is so cool how it looks. So they used a bunch of clear plastic underneath here and then backlit everything with pink lights, so it looks rad. And more on the cosmetics, the purple part have this cool honeycomb texture pattern built into it. That's not just paint, that's etched in, so it feels good when your hands run across it. And also when the light catches it, it's not just a flat finish, it's etched in just a little bit, so it looks really cool. Have really cool shell lines back here, the little fins, very similar to the video game Needler. Overall, just a super cool looking blaster. That is an external overview of the blaster itself. Now a quick overview on the included stand. The assembly was super easy. You just snap these little pieces right in place, and they painted it clear so it's not super distracting, so your eye goes straight to the Needler. And then you can place it in there like that, but it's super simple in design. It's just clear plastic, and the height of these little stands is set up perfectly for the Needler, so it looks cool when it's set up. That's an external overview of the components included. Now I'll show you the blaster firing. Tactical teabag. Overall, super positive play experience, however, not so much as a Nerf gun, just as a prop toy. To compare the firing velocity to other blasters, I put it up on my chronograph and achieved an average velocity of 68 feet per second, which is pretty average compared to the 70 FPS elite par that we can expect out of most normal Nerf blasters on the market. That is the objective information I can provide on this blaster. Now to my personal opinion. Overall, I am blown away by this product. I think it is an amazing prop style blaster. It looks awesome. I love the lights. I love how just out of the box ready it is for display. A lot of the prop style blasters that Nerf make require a paint job to look halfway decent compared to what they're trying to replicate. This one, out of the box, nails it. The colors look great, the lights look great, everything. You take it out of the box and you display it. You don't have to mod it, touch it, or do anything. So as a prop toy, it's amazing. It looks so rad. I love that they included a display stand because this is something I really do want to display. It's like the perfect size for a display piece. Big enough to be substantial and impressive, but not too big to just be bulky and annoying. So overall opinion on this one as a prop toy, super positive. So now to the question, to buy or not to buy. If you're a prop person, if you're a Halo fan, if you see this Needler and you just get that dose of nostalgia and your brain's just lighting up and you want to look at this every day, yeah, dude, consider buying this. However, if you're on the fence, if you're looking at this and you're like, I don't get it, why do you want a Needler? Don't buy it. It's not for you. That's the purchase recommendation to prop people or Halo fans. However, purchase recommendation to Nerfers if you're just trying to effectively fling foam. Definitely do not purchase this blaster. It's a 10-shot blaster with a super slow rate of fire. It's annoying to store. Terrible grip. Like, I can't complain about this grip enough. But it's obviously not designed for competitive Nerfers. This is designed for prop people. And as a prop blaster, its ability to fire is actually pretty cool. So that concludes my review and opinion of the Nerf Limited Needler. If you're interested in purchasing one of these, I will put purchase links in the description box below, but I'm not sure how many of these units they made. I don't know if they're actually limited edition. I pre-ordered this last year, but they still have more available right now without pre-order. I don't know if they manufactured enough for everyone. I don't know if there's a rush. I don't know if it's ever going to be a collector's item. I'm not really into that, so I can't really share an opinion on that. So I'll put the links I can find in the description box below, but I don't know how long they'll be available. No idea. But that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.